Welcome to Her Real Estate Journey, the podcast where we celebrate and empower women in real estate. I'm your host, Lisa Dillon. Each week, we'll delve into their journeys from the struggles they've faced to the glories they've achieved. Our guests are rock star women agents who are sharing their experiences, insights, and advice to help you succeed in your own real estate career. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, this podcast is for you. Together, we'll explore the highs and lows of the real estate industry, learn from each other's experiences, and build a supportive community of women who are making their mark. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Let's get started. Hey, here we are today with Manase. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes.
Manase DeLeon.
Yes, ma'am.
Kind of similar to Dillon, but we are here with her today on her real estate journey. And super excited to meet her. She is in Tallahassee, Florida, and a newer agent. Is that right?
I'm in Ocala, Florida.
Ocala
County.
Okay.
My brokerage isn't located in Tallahassee. I'm not sure if that's like where you got some of that information.
Maybe that's right. Okay, because they told me Tallahassee. Okay, so Ocala. So I'm not too familiar with geography other than where's Disney and where's Tampa, but other than that, in Florida. So where's Ocala, Florida?
I am a little bit northwest of Orlando. So
okay.
I am south of Tallahassee. Tallahassee is kind of in the panhandle a little bit. So I'm close to the University of Florida in Gainesville, so not too far from there.
Awesome. Well, I love your name, Manase. I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing it.
Yeah, you can also call me M, because hey,
M.
Also call me M, definitely.
I gotcha. Well, thank you for being with us. You are a newer agent. You've been an agent now for a year and 4 months. Is that correct?
Yeah. About a year and 2 months, a year and 4 months. Yeah, I started in about August.
Okay.
Last year.
Very excited to talk to a newer agent who's absolutely killing it.
Yeah, thank you.
So that's awesome. So tell us a little bit about why and how you got into real estate and where you came from.
I got into real estate. What really appealed to me is the flexibility, the ability to kind of make your own schedule. I used to be a correctional counselor before this. And when I started my family and I got married, I was a stay-at-home mom for a little bit. And I was just thinking I need to find something, I need to do some work. So I decided to go with real estate because of the flexible schedule and I could still be there for my family.
That's awesome. You were a correctional counselor, so as in prisons?
As in prisons.
I'm obsessed with
rehabilitation centers, halfway facilities. Yeah. I love the work that I used to do, but you carry a lot of trauma. People literally unload their trauma on you. So I was also thinking like, I probably need something a little less,
Did you ever feel like you were in danger?
Yeah, like
my husband's a police officer,
be in danger, but I did work in a prison environment, so there you always have to be on guard. You do have to be on your tiptoes, and there's also a lot of like manipulation, so you have to be conscious of people trying to get something or gain something from you. So I didn't ever feel like I was in physical danger, but it's a jail, it's a prison, so that threat level is always there.
Oh my gosh, that's one of my biggest fears, but I'm also obsessed with all things prison. I don't know why, but it's just fascinating to me.
Yes.
So tell us, how did you get started as quickly as you did in real estate? Like you really ramped up quickly.
Yes.
And I'm sure we'll have a lot of new agents. So what are some tips and tricks and just what are your success secrets?
I paid attention to what people tell you not to do. When I first got in real estate, I did a lot of research. People tell you, don't be a secret agent, don't be a closet agent. They say, put yourself out there, market yourself. And I was like, okay, that's what I need to do. So I branded myself and I had a goal actually last year, my first year in real estate, post every day. It doesn't matter what you post every day. So I stuck to that goal. I still follow through with that goal and it's increasing. So I post every day on Facebook and then some of my other social media platforms, they just have content on them like my TikTok, but putting yourself out there, putting yourself on the line, being vulnerable and committing to being yourself. Definitely.
The real you actually, shines through. People
Yes.
definitely see through the fake.
Yes.
That's awesome. Wow. So what's your average price point where you are?
So homes around here going for 250 for something comfortable. The last home I sold wasn't brand new, but it was 280 something. So
Okay.
you can get a new build around here for about 300,000.
Okay. About the
Yeah.
same as here. So my average is about 175. New build
Okay.
here is about 350 and I'm in Southwest Mississippi. So
Okay.
um so you're kind of like me where it takes a lot of volume to make a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So I have talked to people in California and Hawaii and all over, and they're like, yeah, average price point for starter homes like 1.2 million. And I'm just going,
That's
I
crazy.
don't even, my highest one I ever sold, I think, was 550, and that was
Hmm.
huge.
Hmm.
So it is what it is. Everybody's different. I love to talk to different places all over the country. Um,
Yeah.
now specifically on just talking to the new agents, because I love that you're new.
Hmm.
Where do you get your content for what you post?
Where do I get my content for what I
Like, are
post?
you just super creative, or do you have a service or chat GPT, or where do you get your ideas?
Um, I think that's just part of me looking to be myself. So sometimes the post that I post every day is just about how I'm feeling. A lot of times I try to post about real estate, and
Hmm.
I had a goal this year to do 40 open houses. So that
Okay.
gave me a lot of content. So I go live before the open houses, I do flyers for the open houses, and that allows me to drive a lot of content. And then sometimes I just like doing some creative projects. So
Hmm.
it takes a little bit of work and all, but I do have a web series called Property Pursuit. And it's an imitation of House Hunters. It really is. But I got one of my friends to be the buyer, the potential buyer, and then I showcased properties around the Ocala area. And that allowed
Okay.
me to collaborate with listing agents in the areas for them to provide the listing for us to go and tour and stuff like that. So some of it is like a mad stroke of genius where it's like, you know what I want to do? I want to throw a little party. I want to throw a little shindig. And you just kind of
That's
just takes a lot of follow through to kind of see that vision through. But yeah, some of it's just my own Mad Hatter.
that. Okay, so I knew about your YouTube channel, the settlement series, all
Yes.
about the NAR changes. I did not
Yes.
know about this property pursuit, so I'm gonna go
Yeah.
check that out. That sounds like fun.
I feel like you have to have a good balance. So some of it is educational, like the settlement
Yeah.
series, because we had that whole change to the real estate industry, and I want the clients that I work with to be educated, but also like you can't be too serious all the time. So I like to stick with education and entertainment, two sides of the same coin.
That is so fun.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, since you are a new agent, do you deal more with listings or buyers?
I am just in general more buyer oriented. I just
Okay.
tend to gravitate towards buyers, and my advertising and my marketing kind of is just geared towards buyers in general.
I
Hmm.
love dealing with buyers. And it seems
Yeah.
like it does take a while. So you might find out over the next year or two that you do have more sellers.
Hmm.
But it takes time. And I don't know how new agents get a ton of listings
Hmm.
because it seems like buyers are easier to get for some reason.
Yeah. So
It's more running.
with the 40 open houses, like you would think
Yes.
that you would meet a lot of buyers coming into the homes, and you do, but I've actually picked up two listings from doing open houses. So someone comes in and they are looking to move in this area, and I end up selling their house for them wherever they lived before. So that's
Okay.
been kind of cool too. So I thought that, like what you were saying, like that's open houses geared towards buyers, but I ended up getting listings from those. So it's kind of cool how that worked out.
That is, that's awesome. I absolutely love that. My son is a brand new agent, so I am taking lots of notes to pass along to him as
Okay,
well.
cool. Cool.
Yes. So now going back to your open houses, you did 40 of them. Are they listings that were in your agency or were they just houses that you randomly asked about?
Yes. So my goal is to do 40
Okay.
not this weekend, next weekend. I think I'll be doing 37 and 38.
You got
So
it, girl.
I'm real close to the end,
You got it.
but I don't have 30 listings. I don't have 40
No, of
listings
course
to
not.
do. So it was a mix of both. So I started off in my office in my local brokerage, but
Okay.
I really needed more than what they could provide. So I had to go outside of just Realty One Group. So, but it's been a good opportunity to meet agents in this area and to connect with them and kind of learn from them as I'm learning about real estate too. So, yeah.
That's so interesting that you picked up two listings from that. I love it. Now, are your open houses, are they in my area, they're mainly for agents. Are
Oh,
yours more, do you get a lot from the public that comes to yours?
yeah. So
Okay.
I have directional signs for my open house. So I usually put them up in the neighborhood ahead of time, like a day or two early if possible. And
Okay.
I do get a lot of people in the neighborhood. I do get a lot of neighbors. So we have brokers open, which is exclusive to agents.
Right.
And I usually don't have agents come to my open house, actually. That's so different for your market.
It's honestly kind of frustrating because I really want, I mean, the agents know what the new listings are. I really want the public there. So
Yeah.
trying to, make that happen. I provide lunch and
Mm-hmm.
um I just started door knocking for my last one. So
Mm-hmm.
that was the first time I just did a little flyer and I actually had two neighbors come. So that
Mm-hmm.
was it worked, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just I guess it's just consistency. So
Yeah.
do you provide a meal or you do just snacks?
I do just snacks, and because it's Florida, we usually have like water in the refrigerator and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think door knocking is super, super, super great. I
Yes.
actually tried to utilize my MLS to figure out who in the neighborhood was renting because you can go and see like who has rented or which property has been rented, and you can see if you do it the time frames right, you can see whose lease is getting ready to expire in the next 60 days or the next 90
Interesting.
days and then I would target those individuals specifically. I made a
Okay.
poster, like a little flyer, and it's like, aren't you tired of renting? And I would go, I would pick a day and I would go to like those 10 homes and leave it, at their front door or whatever, and invite them to the open house. I don't think anyone ever showed up like directly because of that, but they got my message. They got my mail.
That's right. That's
So maybe
that's a
that's
little
something
bit
that you could
different.
utilize as well.
Absolutely. That's a good idea. Um, okay, so what are your biggest challenges that you're dealing with right now?
Um, I just overcame a large challenge, a difficult challenge. So right now I'm kind of like in a period where I'm just kind of resting. Previously, I felt that I wasn't getting as much training as I wanted or as I desired. So I kind of had to find a place where they would teach brand new agents just the foundations of real estate, because even though I was hobbling along and I was putting myself out there and marketing myself, I still need to know the back end. I still need to know paperwork, and I still need to know contracts, and I had a hard time finding that core values sort of training. So I'm recently overcome that, and
Okay.
I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled that I'm going to be in a space where I can really bloom and blossom.
It's a scary feeling putting yourself out there and you got these contracts and it's all this legal jargon and you really don't know what you're doing. And that
Mm-hmm.
feeling of not being 100% confident is an icky feeling.
It is. It is. I feel like I had good support, but I like to be prepared, and I would have liked
Yes.
to been more prepared than I would have been for that experience. Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What tell us about I hear you have some achievements in your first year and 4 months. Tell me a little bit about what you got
My
going on.
my biggest achievement that I'm absolutely proud of is I'm a $1 million producer. So even though
Yay!
I haven't made $1 million, my sales
Yes.
volume, I've sold, $1 million worth of real estate. And I think that for being brand new to real estate, not 100% understanding how the game is played, I think that I'm proud of that. I really am.
That is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because I made like I think $11,000 my first 6 months. So you are
I threw
doing
everything at the wall, and whatever stuck, I tried to stick with it and follow through. So
follow
it takes
up
a
and
lot.
follow. It does.
Yeah.
It does. It's the first year is a challenge. And if there's so many people that get into it, and you've obviously done awesome. You're a
Thank
keeper.
you. I
So,
appreciate that.
yeah. So, what do you think has contributed to your success in building so quickly?
Um, my dedication to follow through. I've always been an ambitious person, and I usually once I set my mind to it, I'm going to achieve it one way or another. And I do have my low days. I do have my slow days. But when
Hmm.
I'm up and I'm getting things done. And I think that just my drive, my absolute drive is really what's gotten me to where I am now.
That is so okay. And then you mentioned that you had a lot of strong referral partnerships. That's something, and these are not paid referrals. These are, I mean, of course you pay for a referral, but these are not
Hmm.
like from a company. These are personal referrals.
Yes.
How are you doing that already?
So the same methodology. I put myself in a lot of different Facebook groups. I
Okay.
post in those groups and I reshare my content. At one point I actually made myself a flyer and it says looking for a referral partner and I listed my skills. I'm knowledgeable, I like to communicate. I put my phone number and I said let's talk. I service the Marion County area and I would go in, they
Yes.
have referral groups for real estate agents. So instead of posting that I'm looking for a referral, I would post that I am the referral. So I think that helped a lot. That helped a lot. So
Now, how this is one part that I struggle with is the follow-up. What are you doing? What are you doing to keep yourself organized and on your game there? Or is it just,
I'm in the same boat with you, Lisa. We're both
yeah,
paddling. We're both paddling.
I
The follow up
struggle.
and the follow through is the most difficult part, is the most difficult part. And for the first half, I just did not have a system for it. I just didn't
Mhm.
have anything for it. And I when you know what really put things in perspective for me, when I finally did start following up, I would call people and they'd be like, well, I already bought a house, and I'd be like, okay, thank you, and hang up the phone.
Real quick. Like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. I was supposed to call you like
So
6 months ago. Yeah, I
exactly.
know.
So that was a
Eh.
real awakening for me.
Yes.
So I had to organize myself. I have a sheet of paper here that I made on Canva. It's called my follow-up log, and it has a space for me to write people's name, their phone number, and I'm supposed to do 6 a day. So Monday there's a box, Tuesday there's a box, every day is a box with 6 more boxes in there. And
Okay.
and I have to put names in there and I have to check them off. So even if that person doesn't answer the phone, I called, might have left a voice message, sent a follow-up text or something like that because I want to stay top of mind.
And you got your 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do that 5 days a week. So that's 30.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you told yourself, okay, today I'm going to call 30 people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
It
the same.
would.
I like checklists. I like that idea because
Yeah.
it's a small number. And
Yeah.
if you do more, then you get a yay me. And it doesn't really take that long to follow up, but having
Yeah.
that system. So are you using an actual CRM or you just have
I do
your
have a CRM because I don't want to like store all those contacts to my phone.
Mhm.
I'd rather have it like on the database and I can access the database. But some of it is on my phone, some of it is on my database. It really depends on how close our relationship is. So like have we only met at open house or have I shown you a couple houses? Like, you know.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I feel
That's
like people have to earn their way into my actual phone out of my CRM.
I love it. You made your way to the inner circle. Oh my gosh. All right. So what I've already asked you that about do you have any other strategies that you've used to grow your client base so quickly? That you'd say you'd mainly just be the open house. Are you buying any leads? No. Okay. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Are you I really like your idea about your being the referral agent. Like you just put yourself out there. Like I am
You call
confident.
me.
You're the one. You're the
Yeah.
one to go to. That is
Yeah.
just okay. So as far as building lasting relationship with other realtors.
Mhm.
So have you had multiple referrals, or are they kind of a one and done, or is that just something you're going to learn over time of who's going to come
Multiple
back to
referrals
you?
from like the same person?
Yes.
I have not had any repeat
Not yet.
referrals.
Not yet.
No, not
Okay.
right. Not
Not
yet.
yet. They're
Not yet.
coming.
But
They're coming.
I still try to maintain a relationship with those agents. So I
Okay.
have like an agent in the Tampa area that her and I connect really well. So usually, even if I don't have a person for her, I still call her, ask her how's business and everything, and just because we have a genuine connection, like I genuinely
Right.
like her. So I want to see her be
Right.
successful. I want to see her win, and I feel like she
Mm-hmm.
feels the same for me. So that helps in keeping our referral partnership strong because even if she doesn't have a client, she's still wishing me the best. And when she does have a client, I know that I'll be the one that she calls.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's yeah, because it's definitely about friendships, and some people that you click with and some people that you don't, and some people
Mhm.
you stay together for, you know, different lenders, different agents that you just really do click with. You're just so
Mhm.
excited to see each other, and you're not really competitors because you're not in the same, so it's like a mutually beneficial kind of thing.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
Absolutely.
So, are there any certain qualities, or how do you ensure that that relationship between you and the other agent is mutually beneficial, where it's going to be
I
a win-win?
feel that birds of a feather flock together. So I really look for what I am in a referral partner. I like people that are knowledgeable about the area. So I'm going to want a local agent that has feet on the ground. I'm going to want someone who likes to communicate, who just wants to call, keep everybody updated, keep everybody in the loop, because that's what helps to facilitate a transaction. And I know we all struggle with this one, but I'm looking for an agent that has that follow through, an agent that when they say they're going to call me back, they call me back. That
Right.
type of that type of relationship. And then when I see that effort being put forth by them, I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
yes, I'm going to follow through with you. I'm going to keep up with you. We are both in this race, so let's run.
Absolutely. Okay. Um, so you have had international referrals too, or
I
just in
don't
state?
I don't think so. Like no
Right.
international referrals, nothing official. I'm from Guyana, from South America, so I'm already international. But
Okay.
no, I don't have anything like nothing official like that. No, I'm not that cool. Not yet. I like what you said. Not yet.
Not yet. Wow. How long have you been in America? Were you born in Guyana?
Yeah, I was born in America. I came away when I was like real small, like 5. So I've been
So
in the US
cool.
for most of my life. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I love to travel. Absolutely. That's like one of my biggest passions is
Okay,
traveling.
so what kind of places have you been? Because I like to travel
Mm,
too.
I have done a little bit of mission work in
Oh,
Ecuador and Malaysia.
okay,
I'm getting ready to cruise Panama Canal with, I think, 7 or 8 destinations.
okay,
I've been to Ireland. I've done 2 Viking cruises in Europe.
okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of I'm kind of big time on the travel. I love, love, love
That's
it.
cool. You sound like my mom. My mom also likes to cruise, and I think she's going on her first European cruise like next year. She's really excited.
Is it riverboat or ocean?
I don't know,
I
Lisa.
was actually, it was really funny. I was on the Viking cruise and it's super bougie, but I was the youngest one on the ship.
Oh,
And it's like all seniors, but they're all in shape and I couldn't even keep up. It was insane. It was so much fun. I went with
I
my
know
dad on
they're
that.
definitely full of life. I can tell. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So, but yes, so when you're not doing real estate, what are your hobbies? Things that you like to do?
Things that I like to do. I
Hmm.
like to shop. I like to.
Uh-oh.
I love to be in the store. I love to be in the store. I like to eat because when I travel, most of the time I travel for food. Like I like to eat. Those are my two
That's
favorite
my
things to
favorite
do.
part is
Um,
trying new foods.
yes. So those are things that I like to do. But in my actual free time, I
Mhm.
am a mommy. So I get to go to the playground and I get to run. And I've recently been teaching my son how to read. So that's been fun to see him develop. And now he's like, no, mommy, I'm reading. And that's like, okay.
How how old is he?
Okay, don't judge me.
No,
But he's
I'm
gonna
not.
turn 3 in January.
That's awesome.
Yes, gonna turn 3
That's
in January. So
awesome.
I know someone's out there is gonna be like, her kid can't read, but I promise he can he can do it. I
Look, your
promise.
kid's super smart. Is that your only child?
My only one.
Your only
My
one.
baby. Hmm.
They don't warn you about three, though, do they? They always
Well,
talk about the terrible twos. Three's worse.
do tell Lisa, because listen, I've been looking forward to 3, and I've called them the terrific 2s, trying to put a little spin on it. But tell me about the 3s. What's going on with
Threes are just wild because they're smart.
Oh yeah, he's getting a
They
little like
talk, and four is amazing because they're like little adults when they're
okay,
four. There's a big difference between three and four.
okay,
So my
okay,
kids are grown and gone. Like I said, my baby he's 21 and he's a realtor.
okay,
So but
okay.
that's how are you managing a toddler with your real estate career?
It's a balance. He's in
Okay.
school, so I do have him in school, but my husband is a wonderful partner. He's a wonderful father, and
Wonderful.
he really pulls his weight. Let me tell you, he really does his part, and I think that that is a big help. So I couldn't do 40 open houses if I didn't have basically every Saturday off. So
Okay.
I have a great support network. My parents, his family, we just have a really great support network, and
That's
that's what allows me to be as fantastic as I am.
hey, you got to be confident to do this.
Yes, you do.
And I
Yes,
think you
you
got your
do.
confidence from your correctional previous life
Oh yeah,
career.
help me puff my chest a little bit.
You got to have that support at home because if you don't, I talk to a lot of single moms.
Hmm.
I talk to a lot of, just all different kinds of women. And I love that you've got that support at home because it's huge.
Hmm. But hats off to single women. Hats off to single moms,
Absolutely.
because
I I
hats
can
off.
imagine.
Let me tell you. I mean, I guess I would do it if I have to, but it's a tough, tough, tough job. And most of them do it very, very well.
Yes, they
Very
do.
well. Yes.
Yes, they do. Talk to a lot of rock stars, a lot of single women, and it's just amazing. I don't know how, especially with little kids, I don't know how they juggle, but
Yeah.
they do amazing, amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Um, okay, so as far as Florida, now you're in Tallahassee area, so you weren't affected by the last hurricane that we have, I don't believe.
Mm-mm. I'm in Ocala, and we're kind of inland away from the shore a little bit. So we
Okay,
have some like down trees, but like no flooding, nothing super serious like that. Nothing
that's
at
good.
all. Mhm.
Where do you think the Florida real estate market's heading in the next few years?
It is so hard to say. I do a monthly market watch here in my local in Marion County, and
Mhm.
even from a month to month, you're just seeing prices go up, prices come down, prices go up. And it's And then I remember like things in the real estate market also changed. I've heard a lot of people talk about like when COVID came. So it's just very hard to say what the market is going to be. But I know in Ocala, we're one of the fastest growing cities in Florida, which is exciting news for me. We have a lot of new development and new construction in this area. And I have heard through the grapevine that Ocala is setting itself up to be sort of like a transportation hub. You know, we're right between Miami and Atlanta. We're right between Jacksonville and Tampa. So we're kind of like a really good pit stop for transportation companies. And I see the growth and I see the development. So I think that at least locally here in my market, we are getting ready for the boom. We're building schools, we're building roads to accommodate
Okay.
people moving out, especially like how you mentioned, like the hurricanes. So I get a
Yeah,
lot of people moving up from Miami because they're just tired of the hurricanes,
tired of
to
it.
be somewhere more inland. So I expect that shortly, just because we had those hurricanes like Milton and Helene.
That's interesting. So you have a lot moving up from Miami. We have a lot moving up from New Orleans. So I'm about
Oh.
100 miles north of New Orleans, and they're getting tired of people in Baton Rouge that flooded, and people who just tired of the hurricanes. And then we
Mhm.
also have influx coming from Texas and California
Mhm.
because there's so much bang for your buck.
Oh, you're
When I think
absolutely
of
right.
Florida, I think more of migration from the north
Hmm.
because I'm originally from Massachusetts. So there's a ton of people that I know moved to Florida, but that's so interesting that you say they're coming north to where you
Yeah.
are in Florida.
Some
So
because a lot of times people, so like a lot of people from Massachusetts and Pennsylvania, they will come down here because their market is a little bit different too. So a lot of times they can sell their house up there, buy a house in Florida and be really comfortable. But what happens
yes.
is after 10 years, you've been through enough hurricanes. You're like, I like Florida, but maybe I don't need to be on the beach. And then they'll move up to Ocala or Orlando or
Ocala.
somewhere a little bit more inland. So it's kind of interesting to see, honestly.
That really is. I've never,
Yeah.
you just think Florida. Everybody goes to Florida because it's great. Oh my gosh. Well, is there anything else that you would like to share as far as like for seasoned agents? Just maybe something that has really worked well for you that you haven't shared. Um,
For seasoned agents,
mm,
hmm, I I would say that as a newbie coming into
mhm.
real estate, I care less about the change that happened as a result of the NAR settlement because I haven't been in real estate hardcore for the last 5 years or the last 10 years, as most seasoned agents are. And a lot of them I've noticed are putting up a lot of resistance to the changes that have come about as a result of the NAR settlement. So I guess the only thing that I could offer is, let it go. It's changed, it's different, and if you are going to continue, you're going to have to adapt. And
Yes.
for me, it's an easy adaptation because I'm like, well, I didn't too much know how things were going on before. So it's not a big deal for me to learn the new way, you know what I mean? So I
Right.
would just say, yeah, just be more open-minded, stop resisting change and flourish.
Definitely. One thing that I heard that just keeps sticking with me that I actually like about the NAR settlement is no longer do you have the listing agent determining what you're worth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if you think you're worth
X
a
amount of
certain,
apples.
oh my gosh, and donkeys and zebras, it's so ridiculous the way they train. So if you want more, then you
Right.
can get more, but
Yes.
it's a challenge for those it's really hard, and most of our sellers are still paying,
Mm-hmm.
and it's up to the listing agent to negotiate that. But I think it's also hard for first time home buyers. I do a lot of first time home buyers. I don't know if you do as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's hard for them to come up with their down payment as it is, and then to you're just hoping that you can add it to the contract, and then there be enough with the appraisal to cover.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit of a challenge, but I really like that we're no longer limited.
To what someone else says.
Yeah, especially with foreclosures, because I don't know if you sell foreclosures, but I do. And sometimes they're really, really low.
Mm.
They're ridiculously low. And it's no longer you look at it and go, oh, is that all it is?
Mm-hmm.
I can fix that
Wow.
problem. So
Yeah,
I do like that flexibility.
absolutely.
So, well, I've just got one more question that I want to ask you that I
Okay.
ask everybody. And that is, do you have your one transaction that just really gave you the heartfelt feel good? And it doesn't have to be a big transaction, just something that you know that you made a huge difference in somebody's life. You,
Um, I do actually. I had a client earlier this year, and she was just looking to reroute herself in the Ocala area. So I think her parents are from the Ocala area, and she was like, my I have people there, but I'm not there a lot, and I would just like to buy some land so I can build in the future. And she's not like a big time investor or anything like that. She's just looking for a little piece of land that she can call her own. But I loved her standards. So she was like, but it has to be lakefront. And I was like, okay, challenge accepted. So we had to just wait the market out and kind of see like when is the right property going to come on the market that's right in the budget that we can strike. So her and I kept in contact. And when that property became available, she was like, oh, I'm so excited. This is the one. And because she's remote, she's not here, I would drive out to the property and I'd video her. And her level of excitement and enthusiasm, like, it was just so amazing. So I was like, this is it's not my biggest sale. It's not, but
No.
This is such a big moment for her because she wants to reroot herself, and then she's also looking at like generational wealth. She wants to have something to pass along in her family, and to be able to give her the start to that, or at least add to her portfolio. I was like, oh, this is amazing because I get to be a part of something that's just bigger than me. So that was an amazing experience. It really was.
That is so. Is she planning on building there?
Yeah, I believe eventually that she is. Yes,
okay, that's so exciting.
Yes,
I don't think I ever shared on here my heartfelt one.
Let's hear it.
Actually, I have two. One of them was a soldier in Saudi Arabia, and I was doing video tours with his girlfriend in a house, and the house was only $50,000, but it was their first home, and neither one of their families had ever owned a home.
Oh, okay.
They had rented for years. And so we put him in that house. I think it was $53,000. I never to this day have met him. But I just know that I know it's crazy. I feel like I've changed their whole family tree. Mm-hmm. And then another one was a really young single lady who was a pharmacy tech. Okay. And she bought a home. She was one of 8 siblings. Mm. And none of the siblings, nobody in her family had ever owned a home either.
Okay.
And it's kind of bittersweet. She wanted her mother to come she lived about an hour away. And she just wanted her mom to come see her home. And her mom ended up passing away and she never saw her home. But she was the one in her whole family of 8 siblings who owned a home. And I was just so proud of her. So
yes, it's
a tie between the two.
Okay.
And that was like, a $60,000 house, $80,000. So it's not the big ones.
Yes.
You like the big ones, but it's those little ones that just make you feel good. And you've changed somebody and helped somebody. So yeah, that's awesome. Well, I think we're wrapping it up. And if you had anything else you'd like to add,
I would say that when I also first got into real estate, everyone told me to specialize. You have to find a niche market. And I have identified assisted living facilities, group homes, and nursing homes as my niche market. So in 2025, my goal is to brand myself and put myself out there as the ALF agent for all things assisted living facilities in the state of Florida. So from the small ones, 6 beds, all the way up to the big box ones for, 100 beds or so for entrepreneurs or investors. I want to be the go-to resource connector for all things assisted living facilities. So I'm going to throw that out there into the universe now so that everyone can know about it. And when you hear about me, you'll know.
Wonderful. I'm working in that space also.
Oh, awesome.
Very
Let's
exciting.
Talk about that.
I would love to. Silver Tsunami is coming.
Great. Wow. So that's
so
cool, Lisa.
I know. So exciting. Well, Manase, I am so thankful that you have joined us today on Her Real Estate Journey. And thank you so much for being a guest.
Yes, we're thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
And we will put all of your contact info in the show notes.
Okay.
So people have referrals in Ocala, Florida. Please call our girl. She is amazing. She'll take good care of you. She'll follow up.
Yeah.
And treat you right and get your house sold. So thank you so very much. I really, really appreciate you for joining us.
Well.
Thank you. Thanks for listening to Her Real Estate Journey. I hope you're inspired to conquer your own real estate path. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Follow us on social media for updates and more stories. Until next time, keep shining and make your mark. I'm Lisa Dillon, and this is Her Real Estate Journey.